Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to have a quick revision on tenses. I know that you have tackled them before several times, but just to refresh your mind and to remember these tenses, present, past, and future tenses together. Okay, let's start with English verb tense review. Okay, simple present, this is the first. We use the present simple tense when you are referring to habitual actions that you always or never do. When you are referring to unchanging truth, so for habits, for general truth, when you are making general statements of fact, and for example, he always comes late to class. This is his habit, some repeated action. Unchanging truth, the sun rises in the east, something that cannot change. Or general statement of fact, they are friendly. I know that they are friendly. This is what I believe in. So to talk about something I believe in, I use the present simple tense. Indicators or some keywords that I use: always, whenever, every day, usually, often, frequently, sometimes, rarely, occasionally, never. Of course, we can add scarcely, generally, and so on. But when we talk about always, it can be used in the present, it can be used in the past, and it can be used in the present continuous as well if we are complaining. Like when you say, he is always frowning at me. I am annoyed from his actions. So I say that. I don't say that he always frowns at me. No, he is always frowning. When I say as a teacher, they are always talking. So I am complaining or I am annoyed with the action. I use always in the present continuous. Form, of course, of the present simple, verb as it is, or I can add s, es, or ies according to the ending of the verb. Diagram time on a line. Okay, the present simple, I can use the present simple for general situation, something that is always happening here. It can take time from the past, present, and future. Present simple is used to talk about habit that I did in the past, I'm still doing up to now, or for something that is repeated in the past and up to now, or for schedules that are fixed all the time. So it covers all this area of time. Let's move to the past simple tense. The past simple tense is used when an activity or situation began and ended at a particular time in the past. So if you specify the time, it is past simple. In other words, when an activity or situation is completed in the past. Even if I want to refer to habits that I did in the past, I use past simple or I use used to. Example: completed action in the past. He was late to class yesterday. Yesterday only he was late, so it is finished or completed action. Completed action in the past: we arrived 3 weeks ago. Or past habit: she always wrote a letter to her mother on Sunday night, so this was her habit in the past, to write a letter to her mom. Indicators or some keywords like last night, last week, last year, month, etc. Or yesterday, ago, in the past, or I specify a specific time in the past, like in 1990, and so on. The form of it is the verb ed. This is for regular verbs, or ied if the verb ends with y before it is a consonant, or sometimes there are some irregular verbs that we use, like eat, ate, drink, drank, and so on. On the time diagram, it happens at any time before now, something that already completed, finished before now, we call it past simple tense. Okay, the present perfect, that most of you get confused between using the present perfect or the past simple. As you see, the present perfect is a tense very commonly used in English to refer to the past. The present perfect is used when an activity happened at an unspecified time in the past. You know, we say in the past simple, when we specify time it is past simple, but when we don't specify time it is in the present perfect. When an activity has been repeated several times in the before now or in the past. When an activity was very recently completed, I have just done my homework. When an activity is not completed in the past, when I say For example, I haven't done my homework yet. Let's see some examples. They have already seen that movie. Here they didn't specify the time, so it is present perfect. We have visited New York many times, or several times, or 3 times. Okay, I use the present perfect. I have just eaten. Here is recently finished or completed action. I have studied Spanish for many years. Action not completed in the past. I have studied Spanish for many years, but I didn't say that I have completed my study. I can also use the present perfect with expressions like this is the first time, this is the last time, sorry, this is the first time, this is the second time, this is the third time I have done something. Or when I say or when I use superlative form like this is the most beautiful girl I have ever seen, or this is the funniest story I have ever read. With these expressions I use present perfect. What about this is the last time? This is the last time I will or I do something, and the last time only is followed by past simple, because the word last only refers to the past tense. Indicators here, some keywords: ever, never, so far. I have written 3 letters so far. Already I have eaten my food, or I have already eaten my food. Yet I haven't done my homework yet. Just and recently also are indicators for present perfect. And here, for instance are preceded by present perfect, but look here, for is followed by duration. I have known Ahmed for 3 years, while since is followed by specific time. Or past simple, I have known Ahmed since 2016 or 2017. Or I have known Ahmed since we were at school. So for and since are different. After them here is used duration, and here used specific time or past simple tense. The form of the present perfect is have or has and the past participle. I have studied, I have seen, and so on. And on the diagram it is here. Action happened in the past without specifying time, or it has a result on the present. I can't walk, I have broken my leg, so I have a result here that I can't walk because I have broken my leg, and so on. Or it can be only here at unspecified time in the past. The present continuous or the present progressive tense. We said the present simple talk about fixed timetables or fixed situations, permanent actions, permanent situations, or talks about habits, repeated actions, and so on. While here the present continuous talk about something happening now, when an activity is in progress now at the moment of speaking, when an activity began before now and continues into the future without stopping, when an activity is temporary, something not permanent. I live in Cairo, but these days only I'm living in Alexandria. When an activity is developing and changing, the weather is getting hotter and hotter. You understand? So the present continuous is used for these usages. I am explaining something to the class right now, something happening now. He is taking 16 credits this semester. She is understanding English more and more because she moved into the dorm. Okay, verb understand is one of the stative verbs. And when I say stative verb, I mean that a verb that talks about a state of something. Here, understand talks about the state of mind. But here in this example, I talk about something that is getting in progress. She is understanding English more and more. Okay, so her understanding is getting better and better. That's why I use that stative verb in the present continuous. Usually I use some verbs in the present simple, like smell, or verbs of perception, verbs of smell, feel, and so on. These verbs of owning something and so on. I say I own this house, not I'm owning this house. I know him, not I am knowing him, and so on. Okay, but sometimes some verbs can come in the continuous form when we talk about action, when it is a verb of action. When I say the flower smells good, but I am smelling the flower. When I say the cat feels fluffy, but I am feeling the cat, and so on. Okay, verb to be is always in the present simple. When I say he is clever, but when I say, for example, he is being rude these days, only these days, because it is temporary, I can use verb to be, which is a kind of state in the present continuous, because it is something temporary or something that took an action or changeable. So I use the present continuous for changing actions. Indicators, of course, right now at this time, at this moment, still I am still doing my homework. This year, this week, month, etc. As we speak, form am or is or are according to the subject, and verb and ing, and so on. And of course, on the time diagram, it is in the middle, something now or around now. And let's move to the future tense. We have a lot of future tenses to talk about today. Let's move to them. The future tense is used to indicate that an activity or event will take place at a time in the future. Sometimes it is predictable, or other times it is like we are sure about. Examples: when I am retired, I am going to travel. This is what I am planning to do, or this is what I plan to do. That's why I used I am going to. Next week we will work on punctuation. This is something that we didn't plan to, we just predict. Next week we will work on punctuation. He is going to get his car fixed tomorrow. Our plane departs at noon next Friday. Look here, it's a kind of using future but into present simple, because for scheduled timetables we use the present simple. Even if we have next or tomorrow or something that indicates the future, we use the present simple for schedules and timetables. Okay. Indicators: tomorrow, next Saturday, week, month, year, etc. So for future simple or will and going to, we use will for something that we are not sure about, or we use it for offers, requests, for future facts like next year I will be 16. We use it also to talk about prediction with no evidence, like I think, I believe, I hope, I wish, I claim that it will rain. I have no evidence to say that it's going to rain. That's why I said I will. With verbs like I am sure, or not sure, expressions like I'm sure or not sure, I use will. What about going to? I use going to with. I plan, I decided, or I intend. I have intentions, I have plans, I have a decision. Okay, so I use with them I am going to. Or if I have an evidence, it's cloudy, it's going to rain. The weather forecast says it's going to rain. Okay, so for something or prediction that I am sure about, I say going to. If I am not sure about, I say will. Also I use will with promises, with threats, do your homework or I will punish you, get the full mark and I will get you a present, and so on. Of course, will or going to, this is before. Okay, there is another case in the future when I use the present continuous. If I have an arrangement, I use the present continuous. Okay, in the present continuous I explained it. I said that if I have an arrangement or an appointment, I use present continuous form, even if it talks about something that happening in the future, like tomorrow, for example. I bought 3 tickets. I am attending the match tomorrow because I made the arrangements and bought the 3 tickets. Okay, so if I have arrangements or appointment, something that I took some steps towards, I use the present continuous form. But if it is only just plans or intentions, I use going to plus infinitive. Okay, in the diagram, of course, it is in the future. Okay, I have also past perfect. I said the past simple talks about an action that happened in the past and completed, or two actions that happen successively after each other. But the past perfect, this tense is not used a lot. It can often be used interchangeably with the simple past because these tenses do not differ much in meaning. The past perfect tense refers to activities that happen before a specific time in the past or before another action that is completed in the past. When I say I went to the club, then I played tennis there, I say the first action in the past perfect. So I say I had gone to the club before I played tennis. Okay, for example, he had visited her many times before she died. The form of the past perfect is had and past participle. I use the past perfect to talk about an action that is completely finished before another action that is also completely finished, but the first action ended first before the other action started even. Okay, there are some indicators or keywords like after, before, after, had, pp. We always follow after with action 1. As soon as also is followed by action 1, and we have because is followed by action 1. I didn't go to school because I had been in. While before is followed by action 2. By the time is followed by action 2, and when, which is the joker between all time expressions, is always in the past perfect followed by action 2 in the past simple. Okay, so I say here he had visited her many times before she died, or after he had visited her many times she died. Past progressive. This tense is used to refer to activities continuously in progress around a time in the past, or something that happened for a long time in the past. For example, they were eating when the taxi arrived. Okay, I use the past continuous when I talk about a specific time in the past. When I say yesterday at 5 o'clock I was studying, or to talk about two parallel actions in the past that were happening at the same time in the past with while or as. While they were eating, I was playing, or as Dad was reading the newspaper, I was studying. Okay, I can use it also to talk about long action in the past that is interrupted by short action. When I say here, they were eating, this is the long action. When the taxi arrived, here is interrupted by the taxi, which is short action, and look here, short action is in the past simple. The form of the past progressive is was or were plus verb and ing. Past perfect progressive. We said the past perfect is had and pp. Here it is had, been, and verb on ing for the same cases, but here it takes some time in the past. When I say, for example, I waited 3 hours before Ahmed came, use for. So here, to indicate the duration, I use I had been waiting for 3 hours. So this is a completed action in the past but took some time before another action happened. So I had been waiting for Ahmed for 3 hours before he came. This tense is used when an activity was continuously in progress before a specific time or before another action in the past. I had been thinking about her before she called me. Had been and verb on ing. Just remember with me. I know that you know all that, but this is just for refreshment. And present perfect progressive. We said the present perfect is have or has and verb on ing. Sorry, have or has and past participle. Talk about present perfect progressive, it is have or has been and verb on ing. This tense is used to describe actions that have been continuously in progress before now. These actions are not completed, they are still up till now happening. So I say, I have been waiting here for the last 2 hours. Okay, and I'm still waiting. I say, for example, I started to work as a teacher when I was, for example, 21. I want you to use since, and you know that since is used with present perfect, but here is a long time. Okay, to emphasize the duration, I use the present perfect progressive. I say I have been working as a teacher since I was 21. So it is used for something that started or began in the past and continues up to the present. It takes a long time up to now. Let's move to the future perfect. Future perfect is will, have, and past participle. When I talk about perfect in general, I have two actions. The future perfect expresses the idea that an activity will occur before some future time or before another activity in the future. So she will have finished dinner before the game starts. And look here, before and after, both of them in the future are followed by present simple, not past simple, not will. Okay, so she will have finished. This means that she will have completed this action before this action happens. Okay, my mom will have finished dinner or will have cooked dinner before dad arrives. So action 1 in the future is in the future perfect, which is will, have, and past participle. Also by the time. By the time, like before, is followed by present simple, and before it comes future perfect, will, have, and past participle. Alright, so my mom will have cooked dinner by the time dad arrives. They will have found new medicine by 2020. So here future perfect comes before future specific time or before future event. Okay, so there are two events, one of them happens first. This will be in the future perfect, will, have, and past participle. So by specific time or by the time present simple or before present simple, the other verb is in the future perfect simple. Future continuous or future progressive will be and verb and ing. As I said yesterday at 5 o'clock I was playing tennis. So tomorrow at 5 o'clock I will be playing tennis as well. This tense is used to refer to activities that will be continuously in progress around some future time. We will be flying over New York at noon tomorrow. So at that time specifically, at noon, at 9 o'clock, and so on, I will be doing something. I also use the future progressive to ask about something in a polite way. Will you be using your car tomorrow, Mom? And so on. Overview of the English, I have simple, present simple, present continuous, present progressive, present perfect, perfect progressive, and past simple continuous, perfect, perfect progressive, future simple, will and infinitive, be going to and infinitive. I have in the future I can use present simple for schedules, I can use present continuous for arrangements or appointments. I have also future perfect, I have future continuous. Here I have finished all the tenses. They are scattered in order to concentrate more and know the difference between them. I wish you got refreshed and to be able to answer the revision that will be uploaded. Wish you a very good luck and a successful year ahead. Thank you very much.